Welcome back to part 3 of the Uplevel Forever challenge. In this series, I am giving you guys tips and tricks for how to uplevel in every single area of your life. Every video has action steps at the end of the video so that you can implement the stuff that I am talking about in the video. Today, we are talking about environment and why it is so important to adjust our environment on our personal development journey. It plays a major role in our life. I have created a Notion dashboard inspired by this series. You can find it in the description below. It has everything from a journal, habit trackers, and then resources that include everything from workout videos to lymphatic drainage to a grocery shopping list. So you can find that in the description below. This is not just mindset and manifestation. This involves actionable work. So like I said before, there are action steps at the end of the video, so stay till the end to get those. I'm super excited about this series, but let's just get right into it. So there is this guy, his name is Richard Ulrich, and growing up as a child, he had a kidney disease that made him go back and forth between the hospital and his home, doing checkups, doing surgeries, etc. As a kid, he was able to, out from his bedroom window, see this beautiful pine tree, and he noticed that, to no surprise, he felt significantly better when he was at home and able to look out his window at this beautiful pine tree rather than at this gloomy hospital, which is obviously no surprise. I think we can all kind of agree that we feel better at home than we do in the hospital. But Richard had this idea or this theory that our environment actually plays a super significant role in our overall healing and well-being. So Richard grows up, he turns into a very healthy, well-functioning adult, and he conducts a study. So he takes 46 people, 23 identical pair of people from everything from race to how long they've been in the hospital to how many surgeries they've had to gender, everything. And he puts 23 people in rooms in the hospital where the window is facing a brick wall. It's kind of like an urban scene, nothing really special to look at. The other 23 people, he puts in a hospital room that overlooks a beautiful greenery. So there's lots of trees outside the windows for the patients to be able to look at. So he conducted the study for 9 years, and not shockingly, but also like super shockingly, he found that the people who had the window facing the greenery and were able to see all the beautiful trees outside healed faster, required less pain meds, and had less negative complaints to nurses. So that is just, I mean, if something as small as the view outside of our window affects how long and how well we are able to heal, our bodies are able to heal, think about the effect that our home environment, the place that we spend probably like 90% of our life, affects us. Okay, so we know that beautiful things impact our lives. So how do we implement that into our lives now? I'm gonna go out on a limb here and assume that you spend the majority of your time, the majority of your life at home. Statistically, the things that majorly affect our mood are the cleanliness of our home, the aesthetics of our home, having plants in our home, and the amount of light in our home. So let's start there. We want our environment to work for us. As my boyfriend says, we want to make as few decisions as possible. So if you want to eat healthier, start by throwing away the junk food that tempts you late at night, the snack food that you can't help yourself with during the day. Just throw it out so that it's not even in your home to tempt you with. That way you don't have to make the decision of, do I eat it or not? The decision is already made for you. It's not in your house, so you're not going to eat it. If you want to wake up earlier, set your alarm and put it on the other side of the room, maybe even in your living room, and just set it on the loudest setting. That way, the decision that you're not having to make is, do I turn it on or off? The decision that you are not having to make is, I have to go turn that alarm off. I'm already out of bed. I want to be waking up earlier. So this is kind of like the kick in the butt to start getting up earlier. I also want to stress the importance of working and living in an environment that makes us happy. Some of the routines and rituals that I have created for myself to help keep my home clean include making it a ritual. So at the end of the day, I will turn some happy music on, I will clean out the sink, I will put the laundry away, I will straighten up the living room couch, especially after a night of like binge watching Netflix or watching a movie or something. I do not go to bed with the house in disarray. So whenever I wake up in the morning, I'm waking up to a fresh and clean home, and it makes me feel so good in the morning. Like there's nothing I have to do. There's nothing I have to clean up. I start with a clean slate. So this is great. I highly recommend doing this. The second thing is leveraging the habits that I already have. So for example, let's say that you come home and you have a key hook right next to your door, but you always throw your keys onto the dining room table. A simple trick to keeping this clean and being able to always find your keys is putting a little dish on your table. You can put your wallet in there, you can put your keys in there, but that way your keys have a home and it's in a spot where you instinctively already throw your keys. Or another example is, let's say that you have a hamper in your closet, but you cannot be bothered to throw your clothes in the hamper in your closet. So you always throw them in this one corner. Put your hamper in that corner. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to make your room look like it's Instagrammable. It just has to work for you. And that's as simple as that. I mean, think about it. You spend 90% of your life at home. Wouldn't it be great to make it this lovely, enjoyable place to exist? This also goes into what your home looks like. Do you like the way that your home is decorated, or is it just kind of like a collection of haphazard things that you've collected throughout the years? Some simple and affordable ways to change up your home and make it a place that you love and are excited about being in are getting new wall art. You can go on Etsy or you can go to Marshall's. There's some super, super cute prints on Etsy. Actually, what I'll do is I'll find my favorites and I'll put them in the description down below for you guys to purchase if you wish, but they're super affordable and they're really beautiful. I recommend getting new throw pillows from Marshall's or HomeGoods. I'm pretty sure all the pillows in my home are from Marshall's or HomeGoods. They're very affordable and they're usually very beautiful as well. Change your curtains to something light and airy. I am personally an advocate for having just plain white curtains or just a solid color, but I also see the excitement that can be found in a patterned curtain. Just find a curtain that makes you happy, makes you excited to open the curtains in the morning, because that's what's important, is making sure that you love it. Get rid of the old knickknacks that you're probably just keeping for sentimental value. I personally have a hard time getting rid of the knickknacks that maybe like a grandma gave me or I got on like a really special trip. So for the really, really special ones, I have a little special box that I put them in, but I cannot tell you how much not seeing something also affects my mood. When you see something, you're constantly thinking, I love that, but I don't really love it being in my home and seeing it every day. Just put it in a special closet or just get rid of it. You don't really always need something to memorialize something, but if you are someone who likes to keep things or knickknacks from special trips or from a special person, put it in a special box. Or if you love seeing it, keep it up. But I'm just talking about the things that, you know, those things. You're like, I don't really love seeing it every day. Those are the things I'm talking about. And then lastly, you can go to Home Depot or your local plant store and get some super easily manageable plants. I like Pathos or Mother of Tongue. I don't really have a green thumb and I have found those very easy to take care of. I just love seeing plants in my home. It makes me so happy and it kind of like brings the outside in. So start there. Those are some super easily implementable things that you can start doing to change up your environment at home so that you love coming home and love being at home. If you have been looking for a sign to move, this is it. I personally very much advocate for moving out of your hometown, even if it's just for a few months and then you move back to your hometown. I personally love my hometown. I plan on moving back, but there is something to be said about moving from a place where you are super familiar and feel really comfortable and going through that phase of feeling very uncomfortable, having to meet new people. You learn so much about yourself when you move. Okay, so it's time to move, but how do you know where to move that would best suit you. Honestly, a lot of it is trial and error. But personally, I have really been loving looking at my astrocartography chart. My Jupiter, my Moon, and my Venus lines are typically really good lines to move to for peace and happiness, career success, finding love. I'll put in the description a link to an astrocartography app where it makes it super simple to see what your lines are. You just have to know the time and the date that you were born. If you're not into astrocartography, I just recommend looking at cities where people are living the life that you want. So let's say you're like a super creative girl who surfs a lot. You love to surf, or maybe you want to learn how to surf. Move to San Diego. There are a lot of very creative people who are very active in the surfing community there. If you want to live in an urban city that's super walkable, not quite as expensive as New York City, and kind of has like a little bit of artistic flair to it, you can move to Austin or Chicago. But I also feel like deep down, you kind of know a place that you want to move to. For whatever reason, you just haven't done it yet. Maybe it's finances, maybe it's just a little bit of fear. But I strongly advocate for moving to a place where people are living the life that you want for yourself. That's just a whole nother aspect of environment where you get to be inspired by the people that you're living around. I wrote in my notes here that you want to live somewhere that is conducive to the life that you want to live. I obviously don't know how serious anyone's condition is, but I will tell you that where there is a will, there is a way, and there are support groups dedicated to helping people get out of very difficult or tough situations. But let's say it's not super tough, it's not super serious, you're not in a dangerous situation. So let's say that you're just too young or too stuck financially to be able to move. This is how you are going to make the most of your situation and your environment right now. So I grew up in a very, very, very small hometown in the panhandle of Florida. So small that people would call my dad and be like, Paul, Lauren is driving way too fast down 98. You need to tell her to drive more safely. Like that kind of a small hometown. And I tried to run away multiple times. I wasn't able to because I was 17 and couldn't buy my own plane ticket. I wanted to go to Spain. I knew that my hometown wasn't for me, but I was 17 at the time. I had to finish high school. I told myself I had to finish high school. And let's be honest, like I wasn't in a financial position to be able to move to a major city. So I was working at Plato's Closet, and I pretended I was just like, I was watching a lot of Gossip Girl at this time. I would pretend I was this like wealthy socialite fallen from her good graces with socialite society, and I was like vacuuming the Plato's Closet rug. It was like purple and green. It was disgusting. And then I worked at Chick-fil-A for a little bit, and I got to meet some really genuinely nice people. I saved every single paycheck. I would go straight from school to cross-country practice, straight to work, and then come home and then do it all over again. I knew what I wanted. I made it happen. I spent $1,700 on a plane ticket to France the minute I turned 18. I graduated high school and I moved to the south of France. I lived in Cannes with a family as an au pair where I was making 80 euros a week. And that was my dream. I have always, if you know me, I love France. I knew I wanted to move to France after high school. I knew I was not going to be able to afford to live in, let's say, Paris by myself. I forget what the word, ingenuity. I had a little ingenuity and somehow found a way to live in France for 3 months. And it was very hard, but it would have been my biggest regret if I had never done that. Right now, you are the only thing, and you will always be the only thing that you have control over. So use that. If you are living in a toxic home environment, some suggestions that I have are going to your local library after school to work, joining a club. I also really have gotten a lot of inspiration and have gotten a lot of great mentorship from working at places that I meet really affluent people, things like jewelry stores or high-end restaurants. Your environment plays a major role in the person that you become. A flower can live or die based off of the environment that it lives in, and the same goes for you. If you want to up-level forever, then I encourage you to be constantly assessing your environment. I even need this reminder sometimes. All right, here are the action steps. So for the next week, I want you to reset your home every single night so that you wake up to a clean slate every morning. Do this for a week, see how you feel. Number 2, assess your home. What do you like about it? What don't you like about it? What are some minor tweaks you can make so that you love being home more and see it as a very beautiful place to be? Just for funsies, look up your astrocartography chart with the app Linea. If you are wanting to move, create a vision board for the place that you want to live. Maybe the kind of home or apartment that you want to live in, the kind of activities that you'll participate in, the friends that you want to have, what your routine will look like there. Include it all. And lastly, if you are not in the position to be able to make a major life change or aren't able to make changes to your home because of your age or because of a financial situation, look up places that are conducive to the life that you want to live. So maybe look up jobs at places where wealthier people hang out at. They don't have to be like crazy wealthy, just like are making good life decisions. Or Google your local library. I have loved studying at my local library. That's where I spent a lot of time in high school. It's usually a really great place to meet people, and it's just a very quiet, safe place to be. I am really loving creating this series for you. I've been wanting to create a series like this for a super long time. The next 3 videos, we are getting into the fun stuff. Our next video, we're going to be talking about how to curate your wardrobe. So we're going to be talking about how to come up with 3 words to describe your wardrobe so it makes shopping super easy. This comes from Alison Bornstein, I believe. We're going to be talking about how to know what your colors are, how to know find clothes that fit you, and I'm sharing with you guys my favorite stores to shop at that are not fast fashion and ranging from very affordable to very not affordable, but great long-lasting pieces that I personally believe are worth investing in. So stay tuned for that video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I have been really working hard on posting these videos for you guys. And as always, I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.